All right, so in this episode, we're focusing on inverse function. All right, we're looking on the inverse function. All right, basically, it's a two-step process with the inverse function. One is that we're going to be switching. We will switch x and y, and then two, we'll transpose. So it's either we're going to transpose early, then switch x and y, or we switch x and y, then transpose after. All right, let us consider to write a quick statement for clarity. So I'm going to say let f of x equal to y. I'm going to rewrite this as y equal 2x minus 1. So what we're saying is a two-step process. We can now switch x and y. For example, we have x equal 2y minus 1. So this is where we had done the switching. So we switch x and y. From here, we want to make y the subject. So we're going to transpose for y. So we will be getting rid of this -1. So we'll add 1 to that side and adding 1 to this side for balancing. So we have x plus 1, which is equal to 2y. Remember, we intend to find y, so we divide by 2, divide by 2. So at the end of the day, we're looking at x plus 1 over 2 is equal to y. Remember from the beginning, we let y equal to f of x equal to y, I should say. So therefore, let's do the conclusion. Because nobody asked us for y, we were asked for the inverse. So let us write this. The inverse of f of x is equal to x plus 1 over 2. All right? So this is the inverse. And when we say inverse, it's like a reverse, because let us think about these quickly. Let us do some quick highlight. We started off with a 2 that is multiplying, a 1 that is subtracting. And we want to look at what do we have, the complete reverse. The 2 is actually dividing and the 1 is actually adding. So you could see where we found the inverse because everything has been reversed. So x is now y and y is now x. That's what is really going on. All right. Let's look at another one, which is equal to 4x plus 5 over x plus 1. Now, our intention is to express the inverse of g of x. All right, so we want to express the inverse of g of x. Now, let us start off by saying let g of x equal to y. So now we're going to write everything using y is equal to 4x plus 5 all over x plus 1. Now, the first stage is to switch x and y. So this is now x is equal to 4y plus 5 all over y plus 1. Now, where do we go? Let's write this up here. So we have x is equal to 4y plus 5 over y plus 1. All right, so we want to transpose for y. The aim is that if we're going to transpose for y, we really need to get rid of the denominator. So we're going to multiply both sides by y plus 1. So I'm going to have y plus 1 here. And then I'll have multiplying this side also by y plus 1. All right, so this cancel that. So we're left with y plus 1 times x, and this is equal to 4y plus 5, making y the subject, but we have to distribute the x in here. So now we're going to distribute x times y is going to give us x, y. X times 1 is going to give us plus x. And this is equal to 4y plus 5. What I want to do here is just to gather the y's together. So technically, depending, so it's up to you. I want to get the y's on the left side. So this is going to migrate to this side, and this x will go on that side, right? So basically, we would have to do the inverse operation to get them over there. All right, let's go. So it means then on this side, I'll have x, y. I'll subtract 4y here. So that means I have to subtract 4y from the other side. So that will leave me with this x will be a minus x on the right side. And the positive 5 is there. So that's fine. So basically, I am suggesting that we subtract the 4y here. All right. So the 4 was subtracted from that side. That's why we subtract 4y from this side. And the x was subtracted from this side. And that's why it's subtracted from that side. So that's what we're saying. So in conclusion, we have this. The aim is to get the y's. So that means we're going to have to factorize out the y here. So the y into xy, we're left with x. And the y into negative 4y, we're left with negative 4. So we factorizing out the y here so that we'll have just one single y dealing with rather than two, because we won't be able to complete it with y here. There's a y here and there's a y there. All right. And this is equal to negative x plus 5. At this stage, I'm going to divide by x minus 4 by x minus 4. You could see that the x minus 4 would cancel on that side. So what we do have here is y is equal to negative x plus 5 over x minus 4. In conclusion, the inverse of g of x is equal to negative x plus 5 over x minus 4. There it is. So some of these will take longer than others depending on how it is set up in the beginning, as you could see. So this one is quite a little bit of working, but it's because we had 2 x's, so we end up with 2 y's, and we had to go that far to factorize out, right? So basically, that's the idea behind an inverse function. It's either we get some like these, or you'll get them like these, all right? And you take your time and you work through. Thank you for watching.